Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. We are on site of Lowe's right now. We're going to be talking about the home improvement sector. We're going to be talking about Lowe's specifically. I have an insider at one of the largest Lowe's, the busiest Lowe's in the country, that has shared some pretty interesting revelations about what's going on with their company, but also it's really the entire sector as a whole. And we saw this last time in 2006, but it's getting worse now. Why? Because we have inflation that has not creeped up. It slammed right into us about a year and a half ago. The Federal Reserve has tried to raise rates, and you guys know how that has gone, and they are still not done raising rates. But the fact of the matter is, the consumer is tapped out. The consumer does not no longer do they have the money to do the home repairs that they were doing during the pandemic. And the fact is, as me being an old tractor flipper, when the Great Recession happened, I was buying and selling tractors like crazy from contractors that were desperately trying to keep their guys busy. They didn't have enough work. And so they're selling their big ticket items, their big tools to try and keep things going. I am starting to see those tractors hitting the market again. So here we go. Let's start with this first story. It's out of CNN, and it's entitled, "America's Home Improvement Boom Appears to Be Over." Now stick around for what this Lowe's insider has to say. It's very interesting. This is out of New York. Americans turned into DIY fanatics during the pandemic, beautifying their apartments, homes, and condos while they were stuck inside and tired of looking at the same drab interior every day. But the COVID emergency is now over. Prices are much higher. Consumers are growing fearful of a recession, and people are spending less at Lowe's and Home Depot. Now we know that Lowe's and Home Depot's last couple of quarterly earnings, they have said that their customer has changed. They are going from spending on higher ticket items, let's say with a bathroom. The bathroom fixtures are no longer the most expensive bathroom fixtures, the really nice stuff, the really nice finishes. These are now the bare minimums, okay? These are things that Lowe's and Home Depot can both track and see where the customer is spending. They're also spending money more on things that just need to be fixed, all right? Repairs around the house. It says here, Lowe's on Tuesday, this is them referring to a little while ago, about a month ago. Lowe's lowered its profit and sales outlook for the year, saying that customers were spending less on home improvement. It comes on the heels of rival Home Depot also posting disappointing sales and a sober forecast last week. Remember, when they produce these sober forecasts, they're saying, hey, we think things are not going to be looking as rosy as they were last year, this next year, because they want to prepare the investor. They do not want the investors selling their shares, liquidating their shares, causing a sell-off where the price of the stock plummets, and then the company is left with a smaller market cap. It's more difficult to raise money, all kinds of things, okay? So that's what they're doing right there. It says, now this was something from Lowe's. "We are updating our full year outlook to reflect softer than expected consumer demand for discretionary purchases," said Ellison. "We remain optimistic about the medium to long-term outlook for home improvement." Shares of Lowe's were up 2% when this story came out. That optimism also hinges on pursuing a different customer. We are having rural stores where having rural stores gives us the opportunity to drive sustainable profit growth due to the much lower expense base. Now, the home improvement blues, check this out. The end of the protracted, robust investment by homeowners in DIY home improvement projects during the pandemic has forced Lowe's and rival Home Depot to look for ways to offset the business slowdown. Let me stop there. You guys have seen how Home Depot's gotten into the tiny home business, right? They're trying any which way they can to sell products big ticket items, to be able to bring in more revenue because they're losing revenue. So they're looking for different streams of revenue. Home Depot, this new tiny home segment of their company, totally new. It says here, Lowe's is suffering from a case of the home improvement blues, said retail expert Neil Sanders, managing director of Global Data. On the consumer side, a slowing housing market is dragging down the numbers of people undertaking projects. This has been helpful to Lowe's, although arguably the burden falls more on Home Depot, as movers tend to undertake heavier and more serious DIY, which traditionally favors Lowe's larger rival. Bill Darcy, CEO of the National Kitchen and Bath Association, I mean, who would have thought they needed an association, but someone had a wise idea and said, hey, I'll figure out a way of stealing money from companies. Anyway, sorry, I digress. Said homeowners are nervous about the economy. Some have paused large-scale projects, while others are shifting towards smaller, low-cost projects. Well, that's pretty bright, Bill. Here, let's give them a little 1-2. Type 1 if you think the economy is, if you're stressed about the economy and you think it's going to go down. And type 2 if you think everything's going to be fine. Let's let Bill know. He's absolutely correct. So many people are thinking that. Now, here's the deal. Let's talk about my insider. I have an insider that is very plugged in, knows a lot of individuals because he's a successful person, knows a lot of individuals that are quite successful in high-ranking positions, different companies around the country, right? And he sent me a message the other day and said that he spoke to a friend of his, a buddy of his that manages a Lowe's. And this Lowe's is one of the largest, the highest performing stores in the country. And this is what he had to say, that right now they are down 6% year over year for the first time in his career. With Lowe's, they redid their annual sales plan in the middle of the fiscal year. One thing about this is that prices are up in almost every category. So whether it be plumbing fixtures, power tools, anything, plants. As a matter of fact, I just went down south to LA to buy some palm trees. And you guys know I used to own a palm tree business. And literally prices for palm trees have exploded approximately 3 to 5x. I cannot believe it. But I will tell you this, I went to this big nursery in a big city. There was nobody shopping. There was one person, one customer. And the employees were all ready to help me. But I'm like, I'm not paying that much. So I'm gonna honestly wait until December. When it's Christmas time, I'm gonna go down to the farms when they don't have any business and the big stores aren't buying from them, and I'll come down there with cash and watch what happens. But that's just me being patient and going, look, I can literally save 80% if I go and buy a big load and go bring a big truck and a massive trailer down to like San Diego, let's say. All right, anyway, but that's the point. All of these prices in the store are up, right? Okay, but check this out. Yet Lowe's, they're down 6% year over year in sales, right? So they are selling, that proves that they are selling way less. Watch this. If you adjust for inflation at, let's say 7%, he said, that's almost a 15% contraction at the store. So when you account for the additional money, the 6%, or the inflated prices of these tools, and take into account how much they're down in sales, that is a massive contraction. That's 15% right now. We've seen a lot of layoffs in January and the first of the year, but we haven't seen anything yet. Yeah, we're seeing unemployment tick up. We're seeing job openings shrink, and all that's bad. But that's going to accelerate coming into this fall and into the winter time. And as that happens, watch what happens to the stock price of Lowe's, the stock price of Home Depot, because you will see them start to retract quickly, because we're already seeing all of the news all over there that the real estate market is contracting around the country. We're seeing the bloodbath that's in commercial real estate, and that is only it's not gonna bode well for Lowe's and Home Depot. So anyway, guys, I hope you got something out of this. Thank you so much. Let me know what you're seeing at your local Home Depot or your Lowe's center, because right now, I mean, this is just at opening. We're here at 7 o'clock in the morning. I wouldn't expect a ton of people being here, but normally it would be busier, especially in the summer. All right, guys, that being said, I thank you so much for watching. The Economic Ninja is out.